After Auckland, Alex Eala to see action in Kooyong Classic. There will be no rest for Alex Eala as she is set for another event when she sees action in the 2026 Kooyong Classic in Melbourne, Australia next week. The event, slated on January 13th to 15th at the exclusive Kooyong Lawn Tennis Club, is a professional tennis exhibition singles-only tournament with invited Association of Tennis Professionals and ATP, and Women's Tennis Association, WTA, players. According to its website as of this posting, Eala will join 3 other female standouts in 2024 Wimbledon semi-finalist Donna Vekic, world number 121 and local bet Priscilla Hahn, and multiple Grand Slam mixed doubles champion Daniela Hantuchova. The men's side, for their part, are equally exciting, with former world number 2 Alex Zverev bannering the crew that also has world number 7 Lorenzo Musetti, world number 11 Alexander Bublik, 2014 US Open champion Marin Cilic, hometown bet, and 2022 Australian Open doubles champion Nick Kyrgios, 2021 Wimbledon finalist Matteo Berrettini, former world number 10 Denis Shapovalov, 2-time US Open semi-finalist Francis Tiafoe, former world number 8 Karen Khachanov, Hubert Hurkacz, Flavio Cobolli, Bu Yancheokit, and Lerna Tien. The Kooyong Classic returned after a 1-year hiatus. Its previous winners in the women's side were Mira Andreeva, 2024, Vekic, 2023, and Ajla Tomiljanovic, 2020, to name a few. The tournament serves as a build-up for Eala for the upcoming 2026 Australian Open late this month, where she makes her main draw debut at the said Grand Slam. Eala is coming off a semi-final finish at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand. The last echoes of Auckland still lingered in Alex Eala's mind. The thud of the ball on blue hardcourts, the smell of salt in the New Zealand air, the quiet conversations between points where belief is tested more than technique. Auckland was not just a stop on the calendar. It was a checkpoint. A place where lessons were collected like souvenirs, some bright and affirming, others sharp enough to demand reflection. And now, with Melbourne on the horizon, the journey curved gently toward Kooyong. Kooyong is not a typical venue. It does not roar like Rod Laver Arena or shimmer with the same global spectacle. Instead, it hums. There is history in its grass, memory in its stands, and a certain intimacy that feels like a conversation rather than a performance. For Alex Eala, stepping into the Kooyong Classic is less about headlines and more about harmony, finding rhythm before the season's crescendo, testing herself in an environment that rewards craft as much as courage. After Auckland, the narrative around Eala feels subtly transformed. Not rewritten, but sharpened. Each match there offered a mirror. Some reflections showed the elegance of her left-handed forehand, the patience in her construction of points, the quiet steel that has carried her from junior triumphs to the professional grind. Other reflections revealed the spaces still waiting to be filled, the moments where experience whispers louder than ambition, where timing must catch up with intention. The Kooyong Classic arrives at just the right moment. It is an exhibition, yes, but exhibitions have their own kind of truth. Without the crushing weight of ranking points, players are free to experiment, to risk, to listen more closely to their instincts. For Eala, Kooyong is a laboratory, a place to test variations on her serve, to explore the geometry of the court, to measure how her game breathes under Australian summer skies. There is something symbolic about the transition from Auckland to Kooyong. Auckland is forward-facing, brisk, and modern, hard courts that reward pace and precision. Kooyong, with its heritage and softer tones, asks different questions. It invites players to think, to adapt, to respect the past while preparing for the future. For a young athlete building her own story, that balance matters. Alex Eala's journey has always been about more than results. From the Philippines to Europe, from junior Grand Slam moments to the demanding anonymity of tour life, she has carried with her a sense of purpose that extends beyond scorelines. Each appearance is also representation. Each match is a conversation with young players watching from afar, imagining themselves on courts they have never seen in person. At Kooyong, that sense of representation feels amplified. The crowd is closer, the atmosphere more conversational. Fans can see the small details, the footwork adjustments, the glance toward the coach's box, the breath taken before a second serve. These are the moments where connection forms. Not the distant admiration of a champion, but the recognition of a competitor still shaping herself. The Kooyong Classic is also about readiness. The Australian Open looms like a vast ocean, and Kooyong is the shoreline where players test the water. For Eala, this is about calibrating belief, about confirming that the work done in training, the lessons learned in Auckland, and the quiet hours spent refining her craft are lining into something reliable. There is a particular beauty in watching a player at this stage of her career, not burdened by expectation, yet not untouched by it either. Alex Eala stands in that in-between space where potential is no longer abstract but not yet fully realized. Kooyong does not demand perfection, it encourages expression. And expression has always been one of her strengths. The rallies at Kooyong may not count in the official record books, but they count in the internal ledger that athletes keep. The confidence gained from a well-executed pattern, the reassurance of holding serve under pressure, the reminder that tennis, at its heart, is still a game meant to be played with joy as much as discipline. As she moves from Auckland's lessons to Kooyong's possibilities, Eala carries forward a quiet momentum, not the kind that announces itself loudly, but the kind that builds steadily, layer by layer. Each tournament, each court, each opponent adds texture to her understanding of who she is as a player, and who she is becoming. Kooyong, with its gentle prestige and thoughtful pace, offers a fitting chapter in that evolution. It is a pause before the plunge, a breath before the sprint. For Alex Eala, it is another opportunity to listen to her game, to trust its direction, and to step forward with intention.